Hi everybody, it's the Baseball Hut, the amazing, spectacular, terrific, the great one, the people's champion. Your host, and welcome back to the Baseball Hut. Hopefully you like this video. And hit that subscribe button. Of course, this is a dark hut video, and this stuff that we talk that's very, it's dark. And it's dark for a very specific reason. It's about making very tough decisions. And Mets going to have to make some tough decisions now on some of these players that have been here for a long time. And one of the guys that's been here the longest has been Brandon Nimmo. Now, your host is a great admirer of him. He's an American success story. This is a kid that had no high school team, and he went from being on no high school team to being a number one overall, not number one overall pick, but 11th pick overall in the draft, to being one of the best players on a major team, and really very popular. People love the guy, including myself. Brandon Nimmo's been here a long time, and since 2016, and he's been a Met for almost 15 years. He's got a big contract with the Mets. He signed an 8-year deal after the 22 season. He's got 5 more years on his contract. Moving him is not going to be easy. It's going to be extremely difficult, just due to the fact of the years, and he's going to be 33 years old next season. So he's an older player, and he's had issues with his legs. He's had issues with his feet. I said the Mets should have made him the designated hitter this year. Would have helped the Mets in terms of they could have got more production out of the outfield and out of the DH spot if they made him an everyday DH. They didn't do that. So he was playing left field. Then in the last game of the season, he's playing center field because the Mets got extremely desperate there to try to win that final game, in Miami. But we have an article, and actually an insider mentioned this. This is from SI. Mets might trade Brandon Nimmo to make room for free agent all-star. The Mets part ways with beloved outfielder Brandon Nimmo this winter. The Mets should shop him, certainly. New York, I'm okay. The New York Mets signing of Juan Soto to a $15 million deal in free agency last offseason made it extremely clear that this team is going to spare no expense when it comes to building a stacked roster that should be capable of winning World Series titles each season. Of course, the Mets came up well short of that goal in 25, failing to make it to the postseason. Many fans are blaming the moves that New York's front office made and didn't make at this year's trade deadline as a reason for that. Now, one of the things they did was they traded for all these bullpen pieces, and they all completely fell on their face. All the moves they made at the deadline were a disaster, including Cedric Mullins. We never see him again. But that's not in the rearview mirror. All New York can do at this point is try to learn from their mistakes and work to improve their roster over this upcoming offseason. While this is a reason for the Mets' faithful fan base to be excited, new additions might mean some of this current roster staples might lose their job before the 26 campaign commences. Beloved outfielder Brandon Nimmo is the Mets' longest tenured player, as he debuted with the team in 2016. When Nimmo was under contract with the Mets, the 2030 season, there's a world where the team decides to trade to make space for a potentially more impactful player. Let's see. One of the most compelling free agents who will become available this offseason is Kyle Tucker, who's a 4-time MLB All-Star and a 2022 World Series champion, who's asserted himself as one of baseball's best left-handed hitting outfielders over the past few years. And an October 8th live stream with Bleacher Report, MLB insider and Scott Boras whisperer, John Heyman noted that the New York Mets could part ways with him in order to free up in pursuit of Tucker. Long shot that Tucker does stay with the Cubs. It was worth trying. He had a solid year, but for the Cubs, who are not the team that spends huge, doesn't feel like something they would do. Heyman said, whether it be the Dodgers, the Mets, somebody speculated to me that it could be the Mets or Tucker, which would be interesting. He continued, they moved Soto to left field. I mean, the Mets have a lot of interesting decisions to make. Could you move Soto to left and move Nimmo to center or trade Nimmo? I mean, I'm not ruling anything out. I'd move Nimmo to DH. I make Nimmo the DH. The Mets likely wouldn't resign Pete Alonso and add Tucker to this offseason. Given the money that would require, and the fact they're expected to prioritize pitching. But if Alonso does sign elsewhere and they need to replace his bat, signing Tucker and trading Nimmo, ideally for some pitching assistance, could be a compelling option. But they could have also put Nimmo at DH. Because then, the Mets have holes everywhere in this lineup. First base could be a hole, second base, third base, center field. And that's a lot. That's 4 positions the Mets have holes in. And they need to bring in a major piece with the rotation. This team needs a number 1 starter. Brandon Nimmo is going to be a very difficult piece to move because of all the years on his contract. Not so much the money, because, Cohen will eat the money if he has to. This is more about the years than anything else. Does anybody want to pick him up? Knowing that he has a bit of a history of sore legs and a bad neck and back? I don't know. Well, you let me know what you think about this in the comments section. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you later.